We're starting, we are talking about ICE, the raids, the explosion in LA. But these raids have been going on all over the country, but the focus has really been on LA because of the clashes and, the Democratic leadership coming out being like, hey, Trump, why don't you get the heck out of here? We're sick of you. Meanwhile, it's their own LAPD that's beating the shit out of the protesters against ICE and has been collaborating with ICE for years now. This has been happening in New York, LA, all over the city. You could look up all the. Not only are they collaborating with ICE in a sort of like in a more discreet way, where you'll see them like providing support against people trying to intervene in these raids, but they're literally signing contracts all over the country.
ICE is literally, no bullshit, race soldiers. They're just like straight up race soldiers. That's their, like in the realm of police officers and I feel like they can defend cops. They're like, cops are here. They're cops. They're equal. Yeah. Everyone's crime is crime. Bad people are bad people.
It's like the evolution of a racist. Like that's the top. That's like Avenger level.
ICE is just like straight up, get these Mexicans out of our country. And it's like, oh, these are our literal deputized race soldiers. Like they don't go after. Yeah. I ain't never seen a fucking.
So I was like, I'm not Mexican. I'm Bengali, and I was born here. And there's like, we don't give a fuck,
brother.
You think we give a fuck?
This is just an excuse.
Yeah.
All that shit is just all that other nonsense that you're yapping. That's just the excuse.
This mask I have over my face right now is to hide the massive smile I have on my face, because this is the happiest moment of the last 10 years of my sad life.
They're like, I'm telling you, 2050 is coming, and they are panicking.
The countdown.
The countdown.
The final countdown.
To the whites or minorities, and they are like, Stephen Miller. Anyway,
they're like, wait a minute, I hate minorities. I hate those people.
I can't be a minority.
So,
they're loud.
Yeah. So, we got a lot going on right now. We're gonna read just a little pieces, not little excerpts of a couple articles here to sort of guide our little discussion we're gonna have on this topic. So we're starting with the Washington Post. They put out this article June 11th. Titled, ICE Sets Quotas to Deliver on Immigration Crackdown on Employers. This kind of gives a little background on exactly why and how this is happening. The Trump administration has ramped up investigations of companies suspected of employing undocumented immigrants, directing officials to meet audit quotas for such reviews to accelerate deportation efforts. The Immigration and Customs Enforcement Division has ordered its 30 regional offices to meet quotas on inspections of employers' documentation of their workers' immigration status, according to 3 immigration lawyers and a former Department of Homeland Security government official familiar with the agency's operations. The number of notices of inspection, known as I-9 audits, has increased tenfold since January, 3 lawyers said. The inspections can be a precursor to workplace raids and have recently been used by the Trump administration as a method for detaining undocumented workers without judicial warrants, according to immigration advocates and lawyers. Often, undocumented workers never return to work after ICE agents serve an employer an inspection notice. So this is sort of what's happening behind the scenes to explain this massive spike in ICE activity, particularly them now targeting the workplace, which is a huge escalation of going after because that was the beginning of all this. Which, if you're a reasonable person, you're able to see through the racist horseshit of Trump and all these right wing people being like, oh, we're just going after criminals, and very soon it was like, well, these people aren't criminals. Yes, they are, but now that whole notion is out the window. We're going to Home Depot. Yeah. We're going to where people work. We're going to people are literally not criminals because we know they're working 14-hour days here and they wouldn't have time to do crimes if they wanted to.
Look at all these criminals frying up the fries and just like
building patios for people at reasonable prices that they wouldn't be able to get anywhere else.
Goddamn criminals coming over here and delivering my food in a timely manner. I fucking hate that.
I hate that shit. It makes me so mad.
Gets my blood boiling every time I see one of these criminals.
And they got these quotas. I mean, quotas should be banned, dude.
That
quotas should be banned across the board in any quotas should not ever involve like human beings. Like, a quota should just be like a quota of like amount of candy bars that a kid has to sell if they want to be included to the field trip to Schlitterbahn, but not any sort of person quota done by the U.S. government. That should not be allowed.
Yeah, it's just crazy. They're like you're saying that there is this many things that are out there. This amount of crime. You're putting quotas on crime. You're implying that there is this much crime happening, and if they don't find that much crime, well, you better find it.
Exactly.
It's it's literally like being like, well, we need you to catch 12 Hitlers a year. There's only one Hitler. Well, you got to go find 11 more Hitlers and bring them in. And it's like,
that's actually a bad example because people we found a bunch of Hitlers. we just got on Spotify podcasts and
we just scrolled.
We found
there's like way more than 11.
I don't know if you've met comedians in Los Angeles.
Bad example. Yeah. Not a good metaphor. All right. Fair.
Let's keep going here. ICE has ramped up arrests broadly in an effort to follow through on a directive from White House Deputy Chief of Staff Stephen Miller to make a minimum of 3,000 arrests a day. 3,000 a day. Those heightened efforts were on display last week in L.A. when ICE agents descended on a women's clothing manufacturer with a search warrant and also arrested day laborers at a Home Depot parking lot. The raid sparked protests that led President Trump to deploy the National Guard and U.S. Marines. The former DHS official who spoke on the condition of anonymity to describe private conversations about the quotas said the agents were being, quote, pushed for this weeks ago, but that the pressure to investigate workplaces has increased recently. Quotas may vary by region, the official added. As part of this effort, DHS has also recently reassigned more law enforcement agents from human trafficking and other transnational crime investigations to target U.S. employers, according to the former DHS official and two of the immigration attorneys. They're being pushed to basically work civil immigration and not to do any criminal work, the former DHS official said. So our government's like, dude, who cares about human trafficking, dude? We're still focused on human trafficking. No one cares about human trafficking, dude. We gotta focus on the man doing fencing work in his local neighborhood.
Yeah, fucking Stephen Miller is like, have you seen him?
Of course I've seen him.
I don't know if people I feel like people should know. He's like the Hans Zimmer. I was gonna say
Hans Zimmer, the cinematographer, the scorer of some of our favorite
Heinrich
movie
Himmler.
moments.
What's that? That's
I know,
okay, it's like the Heinrich,
the Nazi.
Yeah, not the
not every Hans is a Nazi, Ashton.
Not the.
Although I do think every Hans should be investigated.
Yeah, at least from birth.
Yeah.
I think they should be checked in on every 5 years.
Yeah, by some agency or whatever.
Renew their not Nazi license every. No, I'm still good. You're still good.
All right. We're keeping an eye on you. I know. It's only fair. Was that a correct accent?
I don't even know if that was. I'm not quite certain. But yeah, no, dude, Stephen Miller, dog. He's like the reason why he makes me avid. Like we went on this anti-bullying whole thing for like a decade. You shouldn't bully, but like he's like a good reason to bully.
Yeah,
like that's what they become. A lot of them people become Stephen Miller. Now he has power. Now he's just like getting. He
but not enough. If you're gonna bully someone like Steve Miller, you gotta get bully enough where he passes the threshold where he's going to get vengeance on the world.
Yeah, because this is some Mega Mind type shit. This is like some fucking.
That's the guy he looks like. He's got the Mega Mind.
Yeah, he's definitely
profile.
Yo, this dude, so it's just like, holy fuck. We have a real villain. That's the crazy. We have an actual super villain, but he's a dork, and it sucks. It's like, dude, you don't need a superhero to beat him. You just need like an average jock, and it's just this is jarring. But I'll let you keep.
It is. I mean, it's. I'll say this before we move on to the next article. Like, in regards to this whole quota thing, like, obviously this is all happening under the Trump administration. This is what he campaigned on, but I feel a need to just bring up, like, the quota, the numbers that Trump is trying to hit. Like, you can't ignore the fact that the numbers under Biden and the numbers under Obama, Trump has not been able to hit. Like, it might have this. We might be living in a different world if we had an actual opposition to the Republicans instead of this fake opposition, which is what the Democrats are. The numbers under Biden in 2024 were record-setting of a decade, and so and he was deporting Haitians. We saw those images of him of Border Patrol on horses literally whipping black migrants, and liberals. Not to constantly shit on liberals. I apologize for doing that, but it's just silence. It's silence when the Democrats are doing it, and that silence is part of the reason we get led here. That we allow 4 years of this shit to go on, and then all of a sudden, things are worse than they were before. And it's actually not that all of a sudden. You know, when Biden does it, it's a meme. Kamala, the do not come, that hilarious meme, do not come. Do not come. You know why she was saying that? She was saying that in Guatemala to Guatemalan migrants. That's what do not come comes from. She was literally in Guatemala telling them not to come, which is just psycho. Just, can you imagine, like, if someone invites you to your house and you're like, hey, this is a beautiful home. Thanks for having me by. You can't come to my house, by the way. You're not allowed. Do not come. That's where that shit came from. So I wish that we could sort of all collectively a little bit awaken and not be on vacation every 4 years when a Democrat is in charge, and then once the Republicans are in charge, be like so mind blown and dumbfounded as to what is happening.
Yeah, they get to carry all the Republicans get to be you know how it's like, oh, Democrats are cool, Dad. Mom has to be the fuck them. I'm the one who has to, like, you know, deport all the migrants. I gotta be like, they're like the not fun mom.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But the two are married together, which is why I think that's a great analogy. They are fucking and having children together.
Yes.
That's what people need to realize.
But also, don't stop deporting fucking employees, like workers, dude. Like, and if they're going to deport anybody in LA, there's so many influencers out there. You could just boot out.
Yeah, dude. Deport Bobby Lee, dude. Bro. That guy's close enough to Mexican. We could get rid of him probably. No offense to Bob, whatever, but come on.
You're not gonna. Yeah, I promise you. It's funny because it's like if you're deporting all these workers, and then 2 days later, all you see is like these farmers like, we don't have any corn anymore because all the workers are gone. I promise you, deport influencers, you're not gonna see a single farmer like, you got to bring them back. America is falling apart. No one's gonna give a fuck. We're not gonna crumble if we run out of get ready with me videos. So.